here with Monica from Monic AI Systems. Monica, thank you for coming on the podcast today. I'm very, very excited to not only dive into you as a human, but your expertise in the AI field. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, Easton. I love your business. I love the concept, and I'm super excited to be here with you today.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. So we'll just dive right into it. How do you think a business can use AI to take it to the next level?
That's a loaded question. So there is so many use cases for almost every single industry out there. I am an OpenAI partner. We have a huge amount of use cases to showcase for small businesses. We also can put them on top of the platform, in the OpenAI platform. They get 2 years free. They can bring team members in, on top of that. And then there's a whole learning platform that they have access to. But with that, let's just take a plumber, for example, for a use case. They have to go through when they need a part, they have to go through this huge book or however they do it today. But in a RAG model, a regulated RAG model, or even an agent that's private for that company, you can build that entire book into an online system where the plumbers on the go can access it on their phone, just put in the search or the number that they're looking for, the model number, and boom, it comes up without having to search constantly for different parts. That's just one amazing use case that's super simple.
I think a lot of business owners, especially the mom and pop shops, the local businesses, are very overwhelmed with not only just AI in general, but what it can do. So
Yeah.
can you kind of break down some simple things that those business owners can do to take themselves from someone who is terrified to step into that technology space to then starting to slowly use it to improve their business?
I would say, because I'm in the super focused on helping get clients and customers who have lost their organic search from Google that's moving into AI search, that's what I focus on. If I were to align with that and keep it a little simpler from a content perspective, there's certain prompts that these small businesses could put into ChatGPT or Claude or any of the large language models and start prompting, like with you just start talking to the AI. That's like the simplest thing I can say is start talking to it. It'll start learning your voice, your brand. You talk about it all about and you can actually talk to it with voice or you can type. Either you got both. As you do a lot of typing, you'll start to learn that you want to just talk to it instead, which is where I have arrived. But, if you want to have the most simplest thing you could do is say to ChatGPT, here's my website. Tell me what you think about it. That would just tell you if ChatGPT can even read your website. And then it will go from there and talk about like how you want to change it, that sort of thing.
Do you think they should be nervous that they're giving this robot a bunch of their information?
Um, I would be on a paid plan more than not a paid plan. And like an OpenAI regular account, I think I don't know, I think they have different tiers, not super expensive, but I'd be on a paid account, if you're worried about that.
Yeah, because I think that's probably the number one thing I hear is like, I don't want it to have all my information. It knows everything about me. It's going to, uh, do something in the future, maybe dangerously. So I think that's a lot of the concerns I hear is like small businesses or just those local businesses are nervous because they don't want to enter into the tech field where now it knows everything about them and their business.
I have not heard complaints like that. Like I haven't heard anything like that happening. And I'm plugged into this company, Industry Rockstar, who has done a lot of our training, and they've been around the AI for 20 years, which I didn't even
Wow.
know 5 years ago that it was around. So like it's incredible. But they we talk about this a lot, and they have, like I said, they work with a ton of clients globally, and they definitely, when people ask those questions, they haven't surfaced them like that it's actually happened. Um, there's a lot of stuff that the companies are doing. I know that OpenAI is very enterprisey. I'm in a ton of their training. I took a ton of security and They've got it built in, at least into their paid plans. And that's another reason why somebody can take advantage of our OpenAI platform that I'm offering for free. They can get into a business account, and that's got all the safety around it.
Can you kind of dive into what being a open AI partner is, and like the more detailed benefits that a business might get working with you?
Yeah, like I mentioned, I mean, you get the free account, business account, highly secure business account for 2 years. You can bring team members in for a small price as you add them. And what is amazing for that is when you go on to a business account today, it wouldn't be that same price. It wouldn't be free. What the whole benefit to this is that OpenAI provides use cases for their specific scenario. They have a platform to train on. Codex inside OpenAI is amazing now. It's like coding, but like you put your how you want to talk to it. You're not actually coding. It's amazing. You can build images. ChatGPT has an amazing platform now. It's just updated with ChatGPT 5.5, where you can get images out and they're beautiful. Memes are a big event now for
Yeah.
SEO. Back in the day, they were great, but for LLMs, if you strategically put them in place with the right language on the top and bottom, those are really powerful, and ChatGPT can help with that. There's just, I mean, even the little things. So, and they get trained on all this, and I'm there to help them if they want to build out an automation or whatnot. I can hold their hand. There's guardrails, all that good stuff.
One of the most interesting ways I think we use AI is like a third person, or like someone to bounce ideas off of, especially if you're a solo founder or you only have two people and you've been talking to this person for 3 years straight. It's great for like using it as an outside opinion. Can you kind of dive into like what I guess those kind of softer things like that ChatGPT or just AI can be used for in general when it comes to helping business owners brainstorm or maybe come up with graphics or those small things that they might not think of to use AI for.
Yeah, sure. I'd say about a year ago, and people have talked about this very recently, even this week. They'll say like they feel like in the past that these chatbots like OpenAI, ChatGPT, they're like, yes, ma'am. Like
Yes.
you ask it something, yes, ma'am. But honestly, it's changed tremendously. Like now, if you ask it something, it'll prompt you back to actually think about how you're going to respond to it, which is actually kind of annoying because I don't sometimes want to think, I just want it to do it. But yeah, so that's like one thing that I think is amazing where we can get more conversation happening back and forth to get what you really need, and that's why it's doing that. The models are changing. Um, the To answer your question a little more, I would say for me, we just talked about this week too. It's like if you're running a small team, that AI where you talk to all day long to create stuff takes you out of the loneliness path. It becomes a team member. And I am on this other platform with like 7 or 8 agents that do different things, and they're texting me all day long. It drives me nuts, but it's like you feel like you've got people working with you. It's truly amazing. Um, for the Going back to your question exactly, did I answer it or
Yes, yes, yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I that's an interesting perspective because you would think that having AI do things for you is stripping away humanity. But your perspective or the things that you even notice personally is that it could be even giving people a sense of like, oh, I kind of do have a team now because I am communicating and I'm not sitting on my computer for 15 hours a day every day working on my business. It feels like I'm actually talking to someone.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes you out of the loneliness path.
Yes. And do you think there is an aspect of AI that is or will kind of strip away a little bit of that aspect of life?
No, maybe in some industries, but I do think that there's always going to have to be a human in the loop, at least in the next decades, because they're not perfect. They're just bots, and it's going to take a long time to train them. I mean, there's, like I said, all industry specific for sure.
Absolutely. And now I kind of want to talk about some of your just like personal things in your life. Um, what are some things that you really want to accomplish, but you've not taken that leap yet?
In my personal life,
Just in life, it could be business, it could be
oh,
personal, just like anything about your life.
um, I'm an 8-year-old. And I'm so excited to get him to learn a little bit about AI. And he sits in Minecraft a lot and he builds. To him, that's not AI. There might be some sort of AI happening in the background there that we don't really know about, but what he builds is amazing. I guess where I'm just, my biggest goal for him is to I mean, I hear so many stories like talking to people where their kids like learned AI as a teenager and now they're living in Honolulu, Hawaii, who built this like amazing algorithm that feeds stocks that, the whole thing. Like I wish that for my child and hope that we can go in that direction. Something with responsible AI, of course, and he's too
Yeah.
early to put him down on ChatGPT. It's not allowed actually. But I have to say, what I love that happened. We had a take your child to school day recently, a couple of weeks ago, and I kept him home. And my husband and I both work at home, so I kept him home. And he wanted to create like this Minecraft story. So he took to paper. Actually, he took to a his actual iPad. Put a little keyboard there that connected with Bluetooth, and he typed away the story. We put it into ChatGPT. He prompted ChatGPT verbally about like the visuals he wanted to have in his story. So ChatGPT created those visuals. It was amazing. And then I put all the story and the visuals into this video platform, and boom, it had this like cinematic, like little 30-second
Oh,
trailer of Minecraft and his story and his images. Like it blew me away. So there's something there, and I'm excited for that. So I'm grooming him basically. I'm excited about it.
that's awesome. What did that really teach you about your child and his imagination at such a young age? Because I feel like that's uh, a very interesting thing to kind of dive into.
Yeah, it is. But so over Christmas time, so like last fall, he started drawing like these animals that taught him like through an iPad app. It would The drawings came out amazing. And so I was like, we need to like we had a Christmas fair coming up where we were selling things. And I was like, we need to sell these at the Christmas fair. And I took it one step further. I dropped them into like Canva. We created backgrounds for each of the animals. And then from there he wanted to write a story. So it was like, holy cow. So we put the stories on the back of the card, the beautiful image that he created, and then we put a story on the back, and there was a QR code, and then all of a sudden, you scan the QR code with your phone and you can listen to the story he created in his voice. Like, and I
Wow.
think from that, going into something a little more different to do in the Minecraft event that he did, which was even more powerful. Like, I don't know, he's learning small bits and he's doing it. Like, he created those images, and I was like, we need to bring these and sell these. And he's like, well, we should put a story on it. And then it's like, well, then we should just tell the story for the kids that can't read it. So it was really cool. We
With you
did
being a
sell a lot of
parent,
those.
that's awesome. The fact that you are not only allowing your kid to be imaginative, but
Yeah,
you're also teaching him entrepreneurship.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
something like that you really want to push as a parent?
I do. I do. I mean, we don't know where AI is going in the future. There's, I hope that, it's so funny. He can't believe when he started kindergarten that he was like, how long do I have to do this for? And I'm like, 12 years. You have to get to 12th grade. He's like, Mom. And I'm like, after that, you got to go to college. And he's like, I'm not going to college. So now he's in 3rd grade and he still tells me he's not going to college. So I'm trying to make him an entrepreneur in case
That's
he's for
awesome.
real. Yeah.
That's awesome. I have two more questions for you. Are you happy with the life that you've built so far?
Yeah, I am. I was born and raised in Africa. My father was with the CIA. I can say that now because he's retired. It was quite it was quite an upbringing. We came back to the United States when we hit high school. And from there, I went and got like 2 masters. I worked for ExxonMobil for 15 years. I actually left at one point to start an e-commerce back in 2005, way before its time. And then I recently was just laid off of BP. I wasn't there for more than a year and a half. And the CTO came onto a Zoom call in December of 2024 and said, with the layoffs looming, I highly suggest you go and learn AI. And that was like the best 2 seconds of a recommendation that somebody could have told me. And by January of 2025, I found this company that was teaching all this AI. That's the company I've been in business doing AI for 20 years. And it's been an amazing road of learning and building, and I'm super excited. And I do think that where I'm headed on the next big trending situation where Yellow Pages was there and Google came, well, I'm on that trend. I'm helping companies who are losing their organic traffic get into large language models like Claude, OpenAI, like ChatGPT, so that they're getting recommended. That's where we're headed.
That's awesome. And with your dad being in the CIA, was there anything you really learned from him?
Yeah, a ton. I mean, even my mother, who she was working for the FBI at the time when they got married, and then they got married, and he had to leave, so she had to leave her job. But she learned entrepreneurship really early. She'd have like this opportunity to buy this beautiful shears for curtains, and she'd make curtains and shears, and she learned to make cakes, and she sold cakes for 20 years, beautifully like iced cakes. She had all the cake pans, Mickey Mouse, Holly, you name it. She did a ton of entrepreneurship, and I probably learned from her more than anything about entrepreneurship. But my dad is a businessman, and I went into business. Yeah, leadership, just more than anything. He had a really rough. His job was rough. Like he was never home. He had to travel throughout Africa, and so like that resiliency that he brought through really, I think, is what I saw. He's very resilient.
I feel like that's almost a necessity to be in, like, to be in that that line of work with all
Yeah,
the stuff
yeah,
that he must have seen throughout his job.
yeah. He talks about it a lot these days. All of his experiences that he wasn't able to tell us back then. So it's very cool.
I bet. I have one, one more question for you. If you could have dinner with two people, one person from the past and one person from the present, who would it be and why?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that. That's a really good question. From the past, my mom died early in my life, 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. I'd probably ask to talk to her one more time. Um, and in the present, I have to think about that one. I don't want to just
What's
put
the
any name out there.
first name that that comes to your mind?
It's tough. There's too many. I don't want to have one over the other.
What would you want to ask your mom?
Um, there are a lot of things she told me as I was growing up that she'd tell me later about stuff. If I knew that it was like she died of ALS, so she couldn't speak on her last year, basically. It was like bulbar onset, so she couldn't speak to me. But maybe I'd want to talk to her before she got sick, and understand what were all those things you were always telling me that you tell me later that I should know now. That would be my biggest one. But yeah.
That's beautiful. I think as kids we think our parents are a little crazy when they're giving us that advice, and then you grow up and you're like, oh, they were actually kind of right about all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I do that to my child now. I'm like, I'll have to tell you someday because it's not appropriate to tell them at 8 years old. But yeah, it's funny.
Yes. Well, Monica, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. How can people find you, and what is one thing you want to leave people with?
Yeah, people can find me by going to Monic AI Systems.com, and if you're anybody out there is searching on how to understand where their organic traffic is going, if it's not coming to you, reach out to me. I can help get you into large language models where we're headed. Our web is going to become agentic soon. Websites have to be trained beyond their page. They have to be trained across the web now because of that. And I'm your superhero for that.
I love it, Monica. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was a pleasure to not only dive into the AI, but some of your personal side. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Easton. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.